Hi everyone, I'm Mark Rosenthal with you at about 12:37 on this Saturday afternoon as we update Weather Blast. It looks like I just rolled out of bed, and you know I did. It's just a little while ago. Several hours of singing last night, going to bed late. I'm getting too old for this stuff, but when you're a rock star, you know you must go on. How's your fantasy life, Mark? Very good. All right, seriously, let's get into a lot of stuff here. I want to talk about what's going on in terms of snowfall. As of 11 o'clock this morning, 13 inches in Queens. Richmond, New York had a foot. I'm sure it's well over that now. Suffolk, New York, at that time had 11 inches of snow. 10:34 this morning, Fairfield County, Connecticut had 5 inches. And then we get into Philadelphia at 9:45 this morning. They had 17. I'm sure it's 2 feet now. D.C. as of 11 o'clock had 16. Baltimore as of 11 o'clock had 18 inches of snow. East Winchester in Frederick County, Maryland, as of 10:20 this morning had 30 inches of snow and still counting. Now here's a little interesting tidbit. Top of Mount Washington is 9 above, but the wind at 6,200 feet is from the east at 30 knots. The dew point was 18 below. Now it's up to 13 below. The air is trying to saturate. It's going to take a while. I want to talk to you about some noontime observations in Boston. Of course, not snowing yet. 31 degrees, northeast wind gusting to 41 knots. But the snow is starting to move into Falmouth and Cape Cod, 34. Moderate snow in Nantucket, the visibility a half mile, 35 degrees. The wind in Nantucket, northeast gusting over 40 miles an hour. The Vineyard, light snow with a northeast wind at 43 knots. Heavy snow in westerly Rhode Island. And then we look around Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's snowing heavily, moderate snow. And Danbury and heavy snow in Groton slowly. The snow is making inroads off to the north. In New York City, as of midday, is 28 degrees with a north wind at 41 knots, gusting to about 48 miles an hour. And the visibility there is a quarter of a mile. We got a lot of maps to show you, so if you're interested, stick with me here, and we will do this together. So here are the watches and warnings from Boston as of midday. The pink zone is where a winter storm warning is posted. You see up to the South Shore, and then in orange on the Connecticut coast to Martha's Vineyard, there's a blizzard warning. I don't know how they got this little blue and then sort of dropped it down and then brought it back up to Boston. This is a winter weather advisory. Somehow that's going to have to get smoothed out this afternoon. All right, let's continue here. I want to show you, this is the latest visible satellite, so it's waiting for the sun to come up to really show everything. And here we go. Once it gets cranking here, it gets the light. And you're going to be able to see low pressure right in this position just to the east of Norfolk, Virginia. I also want you to notice that the moisture is trying to pinwheel up from the south. It's trying to come into southeast New England first and then perhaps up into the greater Boston area. A wider view, this is interesting as well. This is the latest water vapor loop. And you're going to see a tremendous circulation here. This is the upper level low pressure area hanging around the northeast. But this, if we zone in here, you'll be able to see again the surface low is moving just to the east of Norfolk, Virginia. All this moisture is trying to pinwheel in back from the east. Will it get to Boston? I think it will. It's just a slower process. We have to moisten up that air mass. All right, Chatham radar. Again, now this is as of 12:39 this afternoon. You're going to see heavy bands of snow in Connecticut, into Rhode Island, moving up onto the Cape at the present time. You notice the very dry air over the greater Boston area, but I think during the afternoon, the atmosphere is going to get moist enough that we're going to bring the snow into the greater Boston area. And there could be some heavier bands here by dark. This is what we call nowcasting, folks. We're going to have to follow this for you hour by hour. As we widen out the shot of the radar, you see the very heavy snow exists back through the area of Connecticut, in through New York and New York State, back into Pennsylvania, down to Maryland, still snowing heavily in Washington. The back edges into Ohio. I beg your pardon. The back edges into western Pennsylvania at the present time. And this area seems to be drying. And that's going to be the trend over the next several hours, that we're going to lose the back end of this. But the moisture continues to pinwheel up from the south towards the greater Boston area. I know a lot of you folks woke up and said, where's the beat? Now, this is the GFS model. This is what they're forecasting for 8 o'clock tonight. Double barrel low pressure area, one little breakaway in this position. The primary still tucked back into the coast. You see the isobar is tucked together here, equal lines of air pressure. The closer they are, the stronger the wind. So there's going to be strong winds from Boston south at 8 o'clock tonight. Now, as we jump ahead to 1 o'clock in the morning, here's the deal here. Well, let me sort of take that cursor off, and we have low pressure well south of Nantucket, but the wind and the snow is still happening in Boston, if you believe this. And I want to point this out. The GFS, which had no snow up into Boston as of midday, this is their snowfall now. They almost had the 6-inch line into Boston with the very heavy snows from Providence down to New York and points south, where there could be over a foot of snow. How much snow am I going with? Well, for now, I'm keeping the same map that I had last night. North and west of Boston, 1 to 3. In the Boston area, 2 to 4. Plymouth County, 3 to 6 plus. And on the Cape and the islands, points west southwest, 6 inches plus. Of course, I reserve the right to change that snowfall map high or low. We're doing what we call nowcasting now. Nowcasting now, is that redundant? We're doing nowcasting at the moment, so we're following this for you hour by hour in terms of the latest radar trends. Of course, we'll be here throughout the afternoon. We'll keep you posted. For now, I'll be meteorologist Mark Rosenthal.